Thanks for listening. That was another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass Questions. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast.
And we'll see your dumbasses later.
Perfect. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Fresh Till Death podcast. Today, it's another edition of Answering Your Dumbass Questions. That's right. We're just going to answer a bunch of questions today, kind of ask us anything style. It's the Fresh to Death podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh. This is my hot ass wife, Alex Fresh.
Hello.
Whoa. You just spit out your gum. You haven't done that in a while.
I know. And I just didn't want to pick out where to spit it, and I wouldn't have made it anyways.
It's on the carpet.
So it's on the carpet.
For somebody who's a clean freak, you sure fucking put your gum
and
everywhere.
And I forget when I spit it out and it goes on the carpet, and you've picked it up before.
I'll
and
pick
I
it up
have
a lot.
left it on the carpet before. So should I go pick it up right now?
No.
Okay.
We'll pick it up after.
I won't remember.
We cleaned the, we redid the studio and had to take a bunch of stuff out of here so that we could redo the studio. And almost every single piece of furniture that was in here,
had gum
table-wise, had fucking gum on it.
Well, yeah, I'm not a clean freak in this room because this is like just the studio room.
All right, there's gum everywhere. Yeah. It is a Fresh to Death podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh. This is my hot wife, Alex Fresh.
Thanks for joining.
Make sure you check out Fresh Till Death every single Monday on iTunes and on YouTube. Make sure to rate it, review it, comment, subscribe it, turn your post notifications on. Suck it if you want.
All of that.
You can do whatever you want.
Thank
and
you.
Then the Fresh to Death podcast comes out on podcast.
You just said the podcast. The podcast comes out on YouTube every single Tuesday, and it's just a YouTube exclusive.
Yes, that's where we get high and do stuff. And then the Jubal Show podcast every single Wednesday, iTunes, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, for today's podcast, we're trying to avoid the coronavirus because that's all anybody's talking about.
Yeah, and we were the ones that didn't want to stay home, even though we are introvert. We still don't want to stay home.
No, because we like to travel.
So we're like, fuck it, let's just go.
So we went to Palm Springs this weekend.
Hashtag Wanderlusters. Yeah, we went to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And
not a lot of coronavirus there, by the way. They're not worried about it there in Palm Springs.
I kept on wanting to tell people where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
Because
but you did, and people didn't care.
Yeah, I was like,
you did the one time, and they're like, "Oh, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means."
Yeah, but she was Canadian, so
she was Canadian.
She was Canadian, so that's not even fair. Because I wanted, yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but where I'm from.
Why doesn't it matter?
Because
you can say where you're from. It's fine.
Okay.
I know you don't want to because you don't. You know that I don't want it to be like specific. To
Okay. I'm from Kirkland, Washington.
Yes,
and that's where the first person who died from the coronavirus is from. Mm-hmm. And it's just been really bad in the Seattle area.
They're in New York City, the worst.
Yeah, New York City is really bad, but I mean, I do feel like Seattle's really bad. Like it feels like we're not living in like a real world right now because most people don't feel that right now. You know, it's
I don't know. I disagree.
A few cities.
I think everybody kind of feels that way in the country now with as much like news coverage and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
Everybody's scared.
But I still feel like where we're at and what we've been experiencing, like I didn't feel it in Palm Springs, you know, like it was different.
Because nobody cared in Palm Springs, even the people
but here,
in Palm
like,
Springs that we talked to.
You can't even find stuff on the shelves. I'm not even kidding. You can't find toilet paper.
Crazy.
You can't find necessities at any grocery store.
It's the same in LA.
I know. There's a few cities.
I got a tattoo last week in LA, and then I had to go buy like antibacterial soap after. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I went to a CVS, and I asked I couldn't find soap anywhere. I was like, where the fuck is the soap? Because I'm bad at finding things in grocery stores anyway.
Like, duh.
Yeah.
It's the coronavirus. What do you think?
I can't find anything. But I'm looking around. I'm like, where the fuck is the goddamn soap? And then I asked the guy, and he like laughed at me. He's like, oh, man, you're not going to find any soap in here. No. So I had to get baby wash. Anyway. Yeah, there's a few places. Like, I think all the bigger cities, everybody's really just worried about it. So anyway, we're trying to there's nothing else to talk about other than the coronavirus. Like, you pull up the news.
But
it is coronavirus.
To go more into my point, though, like if you look at the numbers of who's been infected and how many have, can you turn your phone off?
Sorry, my phone is ringing and I don't even know who it is.
Disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't know who it is. It's one of your bitches again.
I didn't have a caller ID or anything. It just had a number.
I'm sure it didn't.
Normally
Anyways.
it's scam likely. But anyway.
Yeah, scam likely who? Like, that's a good one.
Scam likely.
A good scam for your wife.
My friend, scam likely.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Anyway, what were you saying?
I don't even know because your phone started ringing. Yeah, I do know. So, how many?
No, the lady you talked to wasn't from Canada. She was from Encinitas. It was in California.
No, that was
and
a different
the other
one.
lady was from Canada.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I'm a stoner, so it's very possible. But
we got way off track here.
In my city, though, the number of people who are infected and the number of people who have died is the most than anywhere in the U.S., like by far. And so there's 42 deaths in Washington, and there's like the next state, as far as like the last time I looked, was like 6.
New York City would be the biggest one. I don't know how many.
6 deaths.
They had 769 cases or something like that.
Okay.
Here in the Washington, it's like 700 something, but 40 something deaths. Total is like what, 70 deaths total in the country?
I mean, I haven't looked up in a little bit, but
I was looking at this coronavirus tracker thing all day, and I don't remember the numbers anymore. But
yeah, so our city feels like the zombie apocalypse, to be honest. To me.
To you, it does.
Like the traffic is none, and that's like unbelievable. Like the traffic here is so insanely bad all the time, really. And there's nobody on the streets.
There's like nobody out.
Everybody, Amazon, Google, like everybody's working at home that they can. Mm-hmm. All of the corporations, big corporations, it's just weird. It's different.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, like there's no traffic and everybody's staying in. I don't know. I think now at this point though, everybody in the world is scared to go
It's
outside.
just getting worse. Like every hour there's like new stuff coming out. Like
it's hard to keep track of. So like and all the news stories, like there's nothing really that new except that, like I'm going to pull up the news right now, that Trump said today that it could last until August and that people shouldn't gather with groups of 10 or more, when they were saying like some places have done 50 or more. Some places have done
250.
250. Some people have done 25. He says don't do more than 10 now. Stay 6 feet away from people. We went to Red Robin last night and they all the tables there, you had to sit
like it was like every other table.
Yeah.
Nobody could sit next to each other.
Yep.
But what I'm most worried about is the effect on the businesses and the economy, and like it's just really hard to comprehend the level of like what is to come.
Yeah, I just feel bad.
It. So
I feel bad for all the people who work in restaurants and things, because they're closing restaurants all over the country. Like pretty much if you live in a major city, their restaurants are closing.
To-go orders only.
Yeah, to-go orders only.
Drive-through only.
Servers aren't working. Small businesses are shutting down. Like these are people that
small
they can't afford to shut down.
They're already losing like too much.
Yeah, and even from like a stand-up comedy perspective, I know a lot of stand-up comics who they don't make a killing, and they need to work their gigs.
Yeah, and now their gigs
are all canceled because you can't have more than 10 people in a room or whatever. So it's affecting a lot of people.
All these bars and restaurants. I mean, like they already live paycheck to paycheck, some of them, and like how are they? I can't even. What is to come?
So really we'll see what happens. Yeah, I have a feeling like the big corporations, because they said the airlines are going to struggle, and they are struggling already for sure. Because I've flown twice since the coronavirus scare.
Yeah, because you're a globetrotter.
Because I am a little bit of a globetrotter, a little bit of a wanderluster.
He loves to fly.
I just can't. I can't let too much grass grow under my feet. I've got to keep moving.
Yeah, you've proven it.
So, but the plane rides each time I've flown, like there's been nobody on it. Like when we flew to Palm Springs, there was nobody on it.
It was about less than half.
Yeah, and like my other flights, like nobody on them.
They're combining flights. They're canceling flights. It's super
nice though if you have miles, because you get upgraded like crazy. I've gotten 2 first class flights. Yeah.
When you're in MVP gold, so you just get the better.
Yeah, so I've been in first class because of the coronavirus. So it's really affecting me nicely.
Yeah.
And Coachella's been canceled. Oh my God.
Well,
not canceled, postponed.
Postponed till
You might as well
October.
cancel it though.
It probably will be.
Probably will be. I know South by Southwest music. I don't give a fuck about music festivals. I don't like them, but people like them. And the South by Southwest one in Austin it's been canceled, I think, or postponed. So like, I don't know. It's just going to affect a lot of things.
It is. I can definitely see like the worst has yet to come, and it just scares me.
Yeah.
So that's the update on the coronavirus.
It is. And there's really nothing anybody is talking about. So
we have enough toilet paper.
We do.
Yeah.
Alex.
And I didn't have to buy extra. I just had that much already stuffed.
Yeah. Alex doomsday prep. So we got water. We got toilet paper. We got a bunch of frozen food. We're good for a while.
Go.
Yeah. If we have to hunker down, we're good for a while.
Yeah.
We've got a gun already in the house.
I got a gun, so don't try and come rob me, because I'll shoot you.
Yep.
I will if you come in.
That's another thing too. Americans are buying guns like crazy now.
Which is so weird.
Well, because everybody's like freaking out. They're all worried that the end of times is coming, and they got to be prepared.
It's definitely a weird time.
Yeah.
It is. It seems very,
I feel like I keep saying this all the time whenever we talk about it. And I just feel like this stuff has happened before. It's just that the amount of information that's thrown in your face now is different, and you can have like a global conversation now because of social media.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about exactly what's going on. You know, things up to the minute. Also, the news is like blowing things out of proportion like they always do. But before in the past, when bad things like this would happen, it was like a slow build, right? You'd hear about it one area, then slowly the news would make its way to you. And now it's just like every fucking
they were
day.
saying that the amount of times that the coronavirus has been mentioned in social media is over 1 billion times. And
Crazy.
they compared it to how many times H1N1 was going on was 11 million.
Yeah, so like
that's the difference.
It is a huge difference. But I mean, it's good. At least people
So,
are hearing
we're
about
probably
it.
being lied to, you know?
Yeah.
Like the government is probably like just totally fucking with us, and it's like this big hoax, and then like they're scaring us, and then something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna watch this later, and you're like, holy fuck, she was right.
She was right. She warned me.
She is a future teller. Is that what you call them?
I think the correct term would be
A
fortune teller.
fortune teller, but like a
Future teller
a
works.
psychic, a future
I think
psychic.
psychic.
Anyways,
Clairvoyant.
you're gonna come back and you're like,
Holy shit, she was right.
wow.
They did cancel Coachella. That's what you're gonna
They
say.
canceled it completely.
Oh my god.
And then it's gonna
It
be
was
like,
amazing. She was
we're gonna
right.
be just old. This is history in making. We're gonna be old, and we're gonna be like, back in 2020, they just canceled Coachella.
I remember back in 2020, they had to cancel this huge music and arts festival where people would wear floppy hats and flowery jumpsuits, and they'd have bands there named Big Boy and the Bear or some shit.
We
like
should
that.
throw our own Coachella.
We should. No Cella.
No Cella.
It's where, okay, it's going to be streaming because nobody can go outside of their house.
I'll create a Facebook invite.
And we'll do all the music. We'll just sing Kanye songs.
It'll be live.
Yeah,
We'll
it'll
do
be-
Facebook Live.
It'll be Kanye's Sunday service performed by us. It'll be called No Cella.
No Cella. Keep a lookout for it. Okay.
All right. So anyway,
Anyways.
we could spend the whole time talking about coronavirus, but
Yeah, because a lot has transformed.
it's transpired.
I always fucking say the wrong goddamn words. Transformed is still an okay word in my book.
Okay. So a lot has
A lot has transpired is a better word. Thank you.
But a lot has transformed too.
And
You're
transpired.
right. But we did put on both of our social medias, just ask questions today because, I mean, other than the coronavirus, if you look online for anything to talk about, there's really nothing else to talk about. And so sometimes we do this every once in a while. We go, ask us anything. Ask us some of your stupid ass questions and we'll answer with some stupid ass answers.
Yes, we will.
And I will say, Alex was like, hey, for the podcast today, let's just post on our Instagram story, like, ask us a question and we'll answer it. And then I was like, God damn it. I know exactly what question I'm going to be asked over and over and over and over and over and over and over again because I already am being asked over and over and over again whenever I post anything.
What is that?
What color are your eyes?
Yeah, because are they green or are they hazel?
They're hazel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought they were green for like the first 3 months. And you're like, no.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're hazel
They're green sometimes.
sometimes, but I listed them as hazel because they sometimes
They
change.
are hazel, okay?
But yeah, the radio thing. Everybody's always has been constantly asking me about the radio. I will answer that question at some
He got
point.
fired.
I didn't get
I'm just
fired.
kidding.
I didn't get fired.
He didn't, actually.
So no, I didn't get fired, but I will answer that question at some point. But
You should
not
wait
right
till
away.
the end so they...
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
No, not the end because maybe they want to skip to the end. But you shouldn't skip to the end because these are some goddamn dumbass questions.
Yeah.
So,
I will answer it at some point. It's not going to be at the end.
yes.
And
it'll
it's not going to
some
be at
point.
the beginning of the
Okay,
questions.
all right.
Because you shouldn't be fast forwarding through the goddamn podcast
don't
just
want
to get
to,
to the
I'm
part that
telling
you want to
you.
get to. You
God
want to
damn
listen to
it.
the goddamn answers. So somewhere in here, there's going to be an answer to that. But it's not going to be at the beginning. It's not going to be at the end. It's going to be somewhere in there. It's not going to be straight in the goddamn middle because you can just fast forward there.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm fucking serious right now. Okay, so who's starting? Why don't you start with the questions because we basically know what all my questions are
Okay,
going to be.
all right.
So you're on your Instagram now, and
Yep.
you're
Okay, so my first question that I got was,
Mm-hmm.
who's your favorite child? Well, I have 2 children. And my favorite child would be neither because I love you both equally.
Same. I used to think that was bullshit when
You
parents
have
would
to
say
say
that.
that as a parent.
I know, but when parents would say that, I used to think it was bullshit. But then I became a step parent, and I was like, oh, I see how you could say that, like how you could like them both the same, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not bullshit, really.
No, I would be devastated if I didn't have either of them. So.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So is it my turn?
That's your turn.
So I've got to sift through all of mine because they all are the same question. What happened to the radio? I'm literally scrolling through all of my questions. And they are all... I'm looking for a question that isn't about the radio.
Well, I have a ton that's not about the radio.
Okay, ask another one.
Okay.
I'll keep looking.
All right. So what's the best thing about being married and the hardest thing? Love you both. Been a Jubal fan for years.
Okay. Who asked the question? Are you going to give them a shout out?
Oh, shit.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I will.
I just like doing that when people ask questions, so they know. By the way, you can always comment on the YouTube, too. You can't really comment if you're on iTunes listening to this, but you can comment on the YouTube, and maybe we'll answer your question there in the comments.
Okay, let me see. This is a long name.
Okay.
Resort the Jack Russell Chimmicks.
Okay.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I got that right.
All right.
The best thing about being married is that, for me, I'm with someone who, like, actually...
has a huge donkey penis.
Why are you interrupting?
Because I knew your answer.
You're just slightly above average.
Has a slightly above average.
At least it's not slightly below.
That's true.
Okay, well,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
there's several things that I could say, but you know what? I'm just going to say that the best thing for me about being married is just how much fun we have together.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
We do.
And we just laugh a lot together, and I don't know. Like, we're just always commentating stuff back and forth, like, all throughout the day, and it's just fun.
Basically, the podcast, we do it all day long. We don't just record. We just don't record it all day long, but conversations like we have on the podcast, we have all day long.
And the hardest.
Yeah,
so I'll say the hardest thing for me about being married would be that I can't go on dates anymore. I have to be faithful to one person.
I can take you on dates. Oh, you mean with other whores?
Yeah, I mean, when I go out with my friend Maria.
Yeah, you've been going out with her a lot lately, so that's interesting.
Yeah. The hardest thing, I don't know. I mean, obviously we have ups and downs, but
we have a lot of ups and downs in the bedroom. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
what would be the hardest thing?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Huh.
But what about for you? I'll think about.
Well,
I'm trying to think.
Okay, the best thing for me, right? Because it said, "What's the best thing? What's the worst? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it?"
What's the best thing about being married and the hardest?
The best thing about being married is it's just awesome being able to be with someone who you're so close with and who you love and care about so much every day. And it's amazing. The hardest thing, I don't know either, because it's not really hard, you know? There's nothing really, it's nothing really hard about it. I would say the hardest thing for me about being married would be, I don't like how demanding sometimes work is. There are times where I have to be gone, and I don't like being gone. I don't like going on the road without you.
Yeah. I know.
So that for me, that's hard. Being away,
it is. Yeah. Being away is hard.
Loving to be home and stuff with you so much, and then also just the grind of comedy and everything else is just, it's a grind sometimes.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It gets tiring, and it's also hard just sometimes to be with somebody who does a different kind of job like this, and then the public aspect of it and everything else, not being able to be private all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If we go out and stuff like that, it kind of bothers me. So, but that's not about being married. That's that's a hard aspect to being married when you have to deal with some of that stuff. So that would probably be it.
Yeah. And I'm super introverted too. So
yeah.
Well, we both are, but
so probably that. Is that a good enough answer for him, you think?
Yeah, you could have kept going. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. What's your favorite activity to do as a family? Asked Katie_M_Becker. My favorite activity to do with my family would be to be what we did this weekend.
Travel? Wanderlust.
Globetrot.
Just globetrotting around wanderlusting, packing our bags and unpacking our bags and packing them again.
And then maybe not even having to unpack,
yeah,
just like
because we're just there and gone.
Wash the clothes while you're there and then just stay there. I don't know, forever. I just like to go somewhere warm and just hang by the pool or hang at the beach and with my family.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. I think that's
my favorite activity. It is our favorite activity.
That is our favorite activity. That and playing Halo.
Oh yeah,
that's Halo. Maybe my favorite activity to do together.
That is our favorite activity when we're in a city where you can't go to a hot place where that has a pool or a beach where it just rains and it's cloudy all the time. You just play Halo.
Just hanging out in the sun is probably our favorite thing to do.
Yeah, and I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of it recently. This weekend, it felt so good to be in the sun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It did.
But you could tell, like, your body needs it.
Yeah, the sun is amazing.
Yeah.
That's like
seasonal depression, I feel like, is a real thing.
Yeah. The sun is awesome. So I don't know. I don't know how anybody doesn't like to live in a place where it's sunny and warm all the time. I don't get it. There are people that don't like it. Like, there's plenty of people, like, the place that I love the most in the world is LA, obviously. That's home for me. There's plenty of people that move to LA and they're like, I hate this place. It's terrible. The traffic, it's dirty, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it's 70 and sunny every single
So is
day.
other places that are better than LA.
Where?
Like Arizona or San Diego.
You would rather live in Arizona than LA?
No.
I wouldn't blame you. I'd rather live in Arizona. I love Arizona.
I love Arizona too, but I would like to live in LA over Arizona.
Right. All those places.
Well, either, actually. Okay. I don't know. Well, but you got the beach in LA and you don't in Arizona.
Right.
San Diego would be awesome.
And Arizona gets too hot for you.
Arizona,
in the summer, Arizona gets too hot for you.
Absolutely. San Diego would be perfect.
San Diego's amazing. San Diego's dope. So, but anyway, okay, take the LA thing out of it then. But just anywhere where it's 70 and sunny all the time, how can people not like it? But I've known people that haven't, and I don't get it at all. They're like, I like seasons. And I'm like, fuck seasons. I just want to be able to wear. I don't like having to switch up buy jackets.
Just travel to see seasons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, seriously. Go from the hot to go see snow for like a day or two and then go back to the warm, beautiful weather. All right, I'll go through mine and see if there's a question that isn't. Seriously, like, all of the questions that I've gotten are pretty much all, what's going on with the radio? So that's pretty much all I've gotten. Here's a radio question that I'll answer. What's the best phone tap you've ever done? I don't know, because here's something that's probably going to shock a lot of people. I don't really like doing them. Just honestly, I don't. I'm not really like, I know people like them and I'm good at it and stuff, but
he's really good at it. But
I'm good at it. People think it's funny. But personally, like, when I listen to them, probably because I'm hard on myself or whatever, I just don't really dig it. So I don't really.
You're really witty with your responses and like how quick you can come back with something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I just can't.
I know, and hopefully that doesn't disappoint you if you're listening. Like, oh, that's fine. There's a lot of people that do things that they don't really dig that other people like. Yeah, it's like if I wrote. Like, writing comedy for a show that I didn't think was that funny. That happens. People write comedies for sitcoms that they don't necessarily like, but people like them.
You're just very talented.
Yeah, so I appreciate if you like them. Personally, though, I don't have a favorite because I don't think any of them are that good. Does that sound like? Do I sound like a dick? Are people gonna think I'm a dick for saying that?
I think they're good, but people like them because you have like we have a different mindset, like more creative,
right?
Or you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people just want to be entertained.
Right.
And they're easily entertained. Awesome. They're easily entertained. Yeah. A lot of people. Mm-hmm. But some people just, and we feel the same about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you've never been, you're not a huge fan of it.
After so long, I mean, the phone taps especially, like, after so long, it is literally the same thing. It's just different content.
Yeah.
And
it gets repetitive. And that's one of the things that with me too, it's like, how many times can I do the same kind of scenario that somebody wants me to do or whatever, Yeah. There are times where I deliver a line where I say something where I'm like, that was a good one. That was quick.
No, most of them are.
Or what?
Are very quick and witty and good.
I thought you were like, no, you never do that.
No, honey.
But it's always confusing to me when people ask me like what my favorite one is because I don't have a favorite because I don't really dig them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
There's your answer.
All right. Somebody, Jesse.Myers asked, do you guys have a bucket list of things to do before you die? And I do not.
No, I don't. I don't think like there's nothing that you're like I really want. I mean, there's things that I hope that I do before I die, but I don't have a bucket list.
No,
like
I don't either. Yeah. He also asked, what's the worst movie you guys have ever seen?
Worst movie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the worst movie I've ever seen is The Room,
Haven't
but it's
seen it.
also great.
What is it about?
It's like a cult classic. This really weird rich guy made a movie called The Room, and it's so bad that it's hilarious. I've told you about it before.
Okay.
They did a Seth Rogen and someone else did a movie about it. Like they did like not a documentary. They made like a regular movie about the making of that movie. But it's the worst movie I've ever seen, but also the best movie. One of the best movies.
I can't even think of a movie.
Have any?
I don't. No.
No?
I mean, I feel like we've watched movies and they were bad. Like, well, this
Yeah.
is a bad movie. But I can't even think of, I don't know.
Watch anything on Lifetime. And it's a bad movie for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking through mine to see. Oh, here's a question from mine. This is from @Misty the Meemaw.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Misty?
Oh, you know her?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. She comments on our stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Shout out, Misty. This says, How tired are you of getting questions about the radio station?
Oh, my good God.
Shout out to you because she definitely pays attention.
She comments on everything.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she's great. She knows. She keeps up.
Yeah, very tired of it. Okay.
I mean, it was like, if people are really paying attention, you know that.
If you are really paying attention, you know what's gone on.
You know what's up.
Yeah.
And there are some. So those are the real winners right there.
Yeah.
So.
If you have really paid attention.
Yep.
Because a lot of people will comment.
And they speculate, and people like speculate in a way where they think they know, and it's actually not the truth. Like people make comments.
So funny.
And like so many comments are not the truth, and they're like, "Oh, this is because of why." This I'm like, dude, you're spreading false fake news.
You guys, he's on a comedy tour right now.
You guys. He's on a
know.
comedy tour, and well, first of all, the comedy tours are on the weekend, so that doesn't matter. Like, he can still work.
And I can still, you can do radio from anywhere now.
And also, it wasn't a tour. It was just, like, dates, you know? Like, we were that's what they call it, but it's not like we were on a tour.
Yeah. And by the way, you can do radio and stuff from wherever you're at. Like, I used to do the show I've done the show from LA. I've done the show from New York. I've done the show live from those places. Yeah. So just because you're on the road doesn't mean it. But it's so funny because, people are like, you guys, if you were really paying attention and you were like an actual fan, then you'd know he's on tour right now.
And then he's on vacation, and then he's coming back.
And then he's going to be on vacation again.
He's extended his vacation. And then he's going to start this tour just a little bit longer, and then he's coming back, guys. I know.
It's ridiculous.
It's just, I want to reply sometimes, but I don't.
But I will say this: there are people who do actually pay attention, and I really appreciate those people. Like we talk about it in private all the time, and I'm like, it's annoying these people that think that they know, but they don't, or that think that they actually like the things that I do, but they really don't. But I really am appreciative of the people who actually do pay attention.
There are very few, and some of the comments are like, "Oh yeah, they know,"
and you're like, "Boom, hit it on the head, hit the nail on the donkey."
They absolutely know.
Yeah, they do. All right, another question because I'm trying to find out ones that aren't.
Okay, so Jesse asked 3. This is going to be the last question from Jesse. What would be your choice of weapon during a zombie apocalypse?
I would choose a bat.
A Louisville Slugger?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
You know why? Because you got to hit him in the head.
Yeah, you do.
And I feel like if we're talking about slow moving zombies from Walking Dead, a bat is the way to go. I would do like that. Okay. There's a character on there. I can't remember his name, but he's got the bat with like barbed wire wrapped around it. I think that's a good one.
That's cool.
Because that'll last for a while. If you have a gun, you're going to run out of ammo, and then you got to like pistol whip. But
I mean, okay, well, I was thinking about my options, what I have here if a zombie apocalypse happened. I do have my Ruger 380, which I have a lot of ammo for. So that would be my go-to. I feel like,
but you run out.
I know. So I was going to say, what is the thing we have?
What thing?
You know, the thing that Jax always wants to go use.
That he always wants to go use?
Oh my God.
The like fly swatter thing?
I think you put it under the bed. No,
oh,
it's a freaking weapon.
Machete.
A machete.
The machete, yes. I thought you were talking about like there's this little plastic fly swatter thing that he's always using.
And that's not a fly swatter. That goes on a Swiffer.
Oh, it's a Swiffer thing. I don't know what it was. And I'm like, you want to use the plastic Swiffer thing? You're going to get fucking nowhere. I'm just going to jab him in the eye. Yeah. I was like, get out of here. Go away, zombie.
Get out of here, zombie. You're not going to get me.
You're a stupid zombie.
You're a stupid one. I'm just going to poke you in the eye.
A machete's a good one. The reason I didn't choose machete, though, is because I feel like that would also go dull at a certain point. And with the machete, you have to either cut their head off or make sure you slice into their head. It could get stuck in their head. Now you're trying to pull it out. You're trying to pull a machete out of a zombie head while another zombie's coming.
Fuck me in the ass. I'm going to be eaten by a zombie.
I mean, I'll do that.
I chose both of the wrong goddamn weapons.
Okay, so you want me to do that to you after the podcast? Because I'll do that if you need me to.
So goddamn it, I'm gonna use a goddamn baseball bat with barbed wire fence around it.
Because I just feel like that wouldn't get stuck. You'd be boom, got him.
Gotcha. Okay, so I would use a baseball bat.
Yes, and also Alex is getting fucked in the ass now. So. All right, I'll answer a question.
Oh my God.
God.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
From Shells with a period in between every letter. Shells.
Okay.
How did you and Jubal meet? Do you want to tell the story? Because you always do the best job.
Sure. Okay. It's kind of like it's an emotional story how we met. It is kind of emotional. Like I have trouble telling it a lot without getting a little bit choked up, But
do your best.
Man. All right. Because people ask us all the time, like, how did we meet?
And we usually just like vaguely respond because like you can't even go into that type of like story to everybody who asks us how we
So
meet.
Nana was sick. My Nana was sick. And her and I were always so close. And I was at the hospital with her and she had dementia, which was really sad. And she would forget things. And a lot of times I'd be sitting in there and she'd look at me and she'd be like, hey, get out of here. Who are you? And it was so sad, And it was just like I couldn't, I could almost not bear to be in there, and I was by her side almost every single day until, unfortunately, Nana's not here anymore. She was never really there.
Well, she
in
was.
the first place. She was there, but her, mentally she wasn't really there.
Very quick.
She went super quick. So anyway, what happened was I was at the nursing home with her, sitting with her, and it was one of those. It was a really tough day for her. Remember? Well, the reason Alex remembers is because she was there to see somebody, and she was walking down the hall, and my Nana was throwing a fit. She was getting upset, and I was trying to calm her down because you know how it is when old people have dementia. They start freaking out. She's freaking out, and then she stops, and she said, "An angel just walked by the door," and I was like, "Okay, she's calm now at least." I'm like, "What's she talking about?" And she was like, "Go get the angel. Go get the angel." And then she starts kind of freaking out again. I'm like, I'm gonna look out the door. I'm sure she probably is crazy and didn't see anything. So anyway, I look out, and Alex is like at the reception place right past the door, and then Nana came out and she's like, "There she is, get the angel." So anyway, I walked up to Alex and I was like, "Can you do me a favor? My grandma's kind of losing it, and for some reason you just calmed her down. Can you come in here?" Remember? Mm-hmm. And you were like, "This is weird." I could tell.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, she got calm once you were around, and we walked back in there, and she was talking to you like it was the first time in like months that I had seen her actually really tune in. And I remember her asking your name and everything else, and she said there was something about you that was very calming and blah blah blah, and it was the only time that she had a conversation in months. And then she asked if you could come back tomorrow. Remember?
Yeah.
And you were like,
she was so sweet.
She was so sweet. She was so, and I was like sitting there and I was like, this is amazing. Like, is this really an angel? Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this must be really an angel. Anyway,
yeah.
It's time to leave. We leave, walk out. And I said, hey, look, you don't have to come back tomorrow. Like, thanks for doing that. That was weird. She's obviously kind of losing it and stuff. And thanks for taking the time. I was like, you were there for like 4 hours. It was amazing. And then you were like, no, I'm going to come back. And Alex came back every day for 2 weeks and sat with me and my Nana and talked to her.
She died of the coronavirus.
Yeah, she did. She had the coronavirus. Because what she didn't know was Alex, the angel who calmed her down, was actually coronavirus positive, and she sort of killed my Nana, and then we got together.
Sorry, Nana, but I know you're watching over us, and we love you. And
obviously, that's not the way we met. We like to make it up different every time.
That was good.
You like that one? Yeah. Did you expect me to go there with that one?
No.
I thought that was pretty good.
It was.
So anytime anybody asks us how we met, we always make up a crazy story because really how we met was on Instagram.
It was really cringy.
Yeah, she posted something and then I commented back with like a drooly face emoji and then we started talking and then we finally started going out. But it wasn't because she saved my Nana's life and then killed my Nana with the coronavirus.
I don't even know his Nana. So
she doesn't. And my Nana is dead. I think both of them are dead, but I didn't really know him that well either.
Yeah.
How crazy would that story be if you actually did kill my Nana with the coronavirus?
Oh yeah, that was it would have been recently.
It would have been recently because she did. I'm not close with my family, but she did pass away not that long ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna look through my questions.
I have more.
Okay, you've got more questions.
Okay.
Go ahead. Mine are all the same. Okay, go ahead. What's the question?
Okay, so kpage_ says, "What's your absolute favorite strain to get for weed?"
Oh, that's easy for me.
CBD.
The CBD, the Juicy Joints CBD THC combo.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
That one is good for me. Probably the best strain I've ever had because it doesn't make me freak out anxiety-wise and everything else. It's a nice, cool, calming buzz, and it doesn't last all day like most weeds do for me. How about you, Alex?
My go-to would be any hybrid from House of Cultivar.
They're a dope
Juicy
company.
Joints.
Juicy
has
Joints is
some
a good
bomb
company.
pre-rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really like Soul Shine's Narnia. Oh.
That's a good one.
It is.
Even for me who gets has trouble with control my anxiety and everything else when I smoke. Narnia is a good one. Every time you've given me some of that, I'm like, "Ooh, this is a good one."
Did you find
another question? I do. I have a weed question. I do have a weed question. This is from 420 at 420 hydro _ kings 420. Apparently somebody likes weed. What's the highest you've ever been? Do you have an answer to that?
Probably when I hit a gravity bong.
Really? Mm-hmm. Can you remember the highest
I remember the feeling that I got was just so intense.
Really?
But it doesn't last long. When you hit a gravity bong, you definitely are whoa.
Yeah.
And I don't get that smoking really anything else.
I'd say the highest.
Or an edible.
Yeah.
I've been really high on edibles before.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think the highest I've ever been is almost every single time that I smoke. I always get about the same level of high.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's always really high.
I don't understand his high. It doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense to me either. Because if I take between 1 hit to 5 hits, it's all pretty much the same. I mean, sometimes if I smoke too much, I'll get way high, not even way higher. But if I take 1 hit, I still am at a level where I'm
and then he says he's high all day, and even he'll wake up and say he's still high. I'm like, dude, you took 1 hit.
I've got to be allergic to THC
or something. I feel you don't feel the same thing as you should, or it feels different. I don't know.
It does. I wish because you smoke like a champ. And I used to smoke a lot when I was younger, but the high has always affected me the same way. I wish you could feel how I feel so you can tell me if that's normal.
Yeah, I can't though.
But
it
doesn't
feel
seem
inside
normal.
of you.
Yes, you can. Well, you can feel inside.
You can feel
of
inside of me, but I can't feel. I could feel inside of you.
You could feel inside of me if you wanted to.
Okay, I take that back. I can't feel inside of you. Okay, all right.
But I don't know if you could tell how high I was based on feeling inside of me.
I don't think
you did
so.
that.
No.
I've got a question here.
What's the question, Jubes?
It's from It's Jessica Baby. And it says, will we be seeing a shamrock painted ass for St. Patrick's Day this year?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Yes.
Because we actually have done that.
We have one ready to go.
We didn't post it last year because I was in trouble for posting those a lot last year.
So we didn't post it, but we're going to tomorrow.
Yeah, because now I can post it.
Okay, so I have one from the Basic Bitch podcast.
Okay.
And she says, or he, probably a she, because usually bitches are girls. What is your number one tip for new podcasters like us?
Just try. Stick to what you think is going to be entertaining and promote it, and you will hopefully find an audience.
Besides that, make sure that where you're filming your podcast is comfortable and you actually don't cut corners on stuff that you need, as far as like if you have a little extra money that you could spend on something better that you think would last longer or be better, then do it instead of
cutting corners and getting like janky stuff, because you're just gonna spend more money in the long run. We can tell you that from experience, because that's what I do all the time.
He does.
With everything.
He's like, should I get this $5 cord or like the actual cord from Best Buy that you need that's $100? I'm gonna get the $5 one.
$5 one should work fine, and then it sounds like shit. That's, you know what? I would say it's the same thing I tell comics, right? Whenever a comic is like, "What's some advice you would give me?" I always say, just do it, because you got to do it. But I also say, always remember to move the mic stand. That's like my number one piece of advice, and it sounds like fucking bullshit advice, but I'll tell you why. Because any amateur comedian, first couple times up, even sometimes longer than that, they forget to move the mic. It creates like a little wall between you and the crowd. You don't look as in control. You don't feel as in control of the stage. You look like a rookie right away, right? Same with podcast stuff. Make sure it sounds good. If you're doing video, make sure the video looks good, but make sure it sounds good overall, because I actually was on a plane, because I travel a lot because of Wanderluster. I was traveling. I was globetrotting.
Of course you were.
And I downloaded some podcasts to listen to, because that's what I do. Because when I'm globetrotting, I want something to listen to, because how many times can you listen to the same song over and over? Am I right? But I've been trying to learn more about investing, and I downloaded some podcasts from these like really respected investor type dudes who have TV shows, but I've started doing podcasts, and the audio was so bad I couldn't even listen. Remember, I took my headphones off, and I was like, babe, I can't even listen to this because the audio is so bad. This is ridiculous. Let's just get to our destination.
Yeah.
But make sure it sounds good. Make sure it seems as professional as possible. That'd be good advice. Let's see if I have any other questions other than radio stuff.
Lore_loves_0313 asks, I'm sure you guys get this question a lot, but when are you going to make some cute babies?
Right after the podcast.
Well, I have an IUD, so it's not really possible.
I'm going to rip that IUD out.
I'm pretty sure even when I'm ovulating and very fertile, that you still won't be able to get me pregnant.
I'm going to try, though.
Because that copper off the IUD will kill those little babies.
I'm going to try.
You do try.
It's weird how copper on the IUD can just kill sperm. Something happened over there. What does it say?
No video available.
The fuck? Why?
Switch to a different video source.
How did the...
There we go. How long has it been like that? It wasn't. I just looked over and it was fine. Yeah. Sorry, technical difficulty. Well, if you wouldn't have just...
You know what's funny? Is I think the video...
It
fucking came out again. Goddamn. The audio's good.
It's probably because it's a cord.
It is a cord. Go back.
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh my god. Why?
Oh my god, I did it again. I'm kidding.
Oh Jesus. So I just went on this whole rant about making sure you get the right stuff. Make sure everything is good. Look as professional as possible. And I'm pretty sure either as I was saying that or right after the cord fell out and the fucking video dropped out for a second. So
that's funny.
If you're on the YouTube, you saw it. Unless I edited it out at this point, but I probably won't because that was kind of funny. But god damn it, it's every time it's when the couch moves or something.
Okay, I won't move, but well, you did it. You did it. It hasn't done this before.
No, it's never done this before. Why is it doing it now?
Sorry, guys. Came on, Buck. Okay.
What the fuck is going on? Why is it doing that? It's never done this before, ever. Okay.
Okay, so just don't move.
So don't move. The video is back now.
Back in
Like
action.
we were saying, if you want to have a good podcast, make sure it's professional as possible so you have no technical difficulties ever.
All right, I'm gonna go through some of more questions.
All right.
Okay, Bells _ Little Red Bug asked, "What was your first car?" And my first car that I bought was a Ford Focus, and it was green.
Nice.
What was yours?
Mine was a 1987 Chevy Celebrity.
That was the year I was born.
1987 Chevy Celebrity.
Chevy Celebrity. You're
White.
really mobbing down.
Oh, I was.
Santa Monica Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard. No, sorry.
Hawthorne Boulevard.
Hawthorne Boulevard. Sorry.
Probably Hawthorne Boulevard. Probably.
Beverly Hills.
No, definitely not Beverly
I'm
Hills.
kidding.
I would probably. You couldn't drive a 1987 Chevy Celebrity into Beverly Hills without being arrested. I don't think, unless you had gardening equipment in the back, and they're like, it's probably cool. All right. So.
I'm gonna ask another one.
Yep.
Caitlin _ Jones 20 asks, "What do I do for a living?"
What do you do?
Yeah.
You run the show.
I do a lot of different things.
You do. You do a lot of shit, but you pretty much.
I guess what I would say is, well, we have our own business that we run, and we do a lot of different things in that business.
Yes, Queen.
And we're currently starting to work on growing. Should I tell?
I mean, sure.
No.
It's up to you.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like to talk about things until we're doing them, but that's just how I am.
Yeah. They can see it. Well, we're starting something new, so
we work on a lot of things. We have a business, and that includes the podcasting stuff and everything else. And we're trying to branch out into other things. So Alex runs all of that. She runs like basically every single thing that we do. So she's the boss lady. She just, she feels inside me and just tells me what to do.
Inside me?
She tells me what to do. No, but she handles all that. And then we're going to branch out into hopefully some other cool things. And again, she heads all that up because she's got a good business head on her hot little body.
I what?
Got a good business head on your hot little body.
Okay. I was reading another question. I was like,
what did you just say?
Okay, so should we talk about what's going on with the radio? Because I got one. Official DJ Tony G. Is Jubal taking hiatus from Brooke Jubal in the morning? I hear Young Jeff a lot now.
So you actually got one a radio question on your own thing too.
Yeah, I got several. So
Yeah.
I mean, I did get several other questions that were repeated. So if I didn't answer your question or shout you out, I'm sorry. But thank you so much for all of your questions.
Thanks for asking the questions. We will do this again because it's fun to answer your questions on the podcast. It is. Like we should do this live on YouTube or something sometime. But like we were talking about earlier with being professional for podcasts and stuff like that, I haven't quite figured out how to do the live YouTubes yet.
Yeah. And this mic has always bothered me. Like, how much do I move it during the podcast every time?
I'm going to switch your mic out.
Please do that.
I'm going to switch your mic out with one of those other ones. They sound better anyway, and you don't even have to touch them.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and you don't have to get super close to it because you're always complaining because I tell you to get closer to the mic. I think one of these other mics that we have in the studio
It's going to better suit me.
It's going to be perfect for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to fit you with one of those.
Answer
Okay.
DJ's question.
Is this the last question that we're answering too?
No, because we didn't say it'd be the last question. So
Okay, so we'll answer another one or two after this.
Yeah, so we're not liars.
Okay, because I was going to be like, oh shit, we forgot to do it in between.
Yeah.
All right, so I will address the radio thing because it's the only question that I'm being asked nonstop on my social media, even when it's something that I definitely don't want to be talking about it on. Like I posted a nice sentiment about Alex for happy women International Women's Day.
Yes.
Was it International Women's Day?
International Women's Day.
And the people were commenting, asking about the radio show on that. And then I got into it with a few people because I was like, hey, this is not the fucking place. If you want to post it on my other stuff, fine. But I'm trying to say something nice for International Women's Day to my international woman who is the fucking boss. And I just don't want the comments hijacked by that. And then people got pissed. But anyway, people are asking me nonstop. So I'll address it the best way I can. I will say this. Obviously, if you've paid attention and you're asking the question, you know that something's different. you know that something has changed. Because you wouldn't be answering, does that sound condescending or something?
No, it just sounds funny.
You wouldn't be asking the question if you didn't already notice. So you sort of are answering your own question there. The specifics of things will be when I feel like it's appropriate and when I feel like it's okay to discuss, I will discuss everything. Because I'm not, like, the one thing that I've always tried to do, and I've tried to do throughout my career in the radio world, is to operate as truthfully and as real as possible. And I do that for the most part. And so when there's a time to discuss things, I will absolutely discuss everything. But because a lot of people don't understand the ins and outs of just the business or business in general, sometimes there's things that you can't really discuss yet.
Yep.
And so for the people that are wondering, you're wondering for a reason, for sure. Things are different. For the people that are like, will you be back on the radio? For sure.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep.
Probably at some point. I will definitely be back. I can't say what that is right now. But I'm not going away. Also, to the people that are like I give a shout out to all the people that are in the comments on my social media who are saying things like, hey, if you guys miss them so much, check out the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody that says that. Thank you so much.
We pump out so much goddamn content.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Like, how are you not getting your Jubal fix?
Yeah, like, because everybody's like, oh, I miss you here. Like, blah, blah. Look, I do more things than the radio,
and it's better.
And
it's
yeah,
more like what you want to do.
Exactly. And that's another thing. I want to thank all the people that have commented on my stuff. On my social media and stuff when I've posted things about the podcast, who say, I like listening to this more because it sounds more authentic and more you. And I'm laughing. I got really annoyed last week because I posted a thing for the podcast where I was like, legitimately, I was dying on the last week's Fresh Till Death podcast. I was in tears laughing. If you were to say that you're a fan of mine from that, when you ever heard me laugh? When have you ever heard me laugh like that on the radio? Probably never. Mm-hmm. And I was dying laughing at the podcast, which means I'm enjoying myself doing that, right? I enjoy it. I take pride in it. I think it's good. I put it out there, and then somebody had a comment like, this sucks compared to that. And I'm like,
go back to the radio.
Yeah, go back to the, okay, well, if that's your opinion, that's fine, because comedy is subjective. If you don't think the podcast stuff is as funny as that, that's fine. You can have that opinion. But if you were like actually paying attention, why would you think I'd be cool with that comment?
Yep.
Because, hello, I'm dying laughing in this. And even my comments was like, you have to watch this. This is hilarious. When have you ever seen me post something like that about the other thing? When have you ever seen me post anything going like, hey, go check this out? I tend to post things that I'm proud of, And so I'm proud of the podcast that we do. I'm proud of the content that we put out. And I'm enjoying it. And are there other things to come? Sure, at some point there will be. Definitely. Like, this is what I've devoted my life to. Unfortunately, sometimes it's the entertainment world, because it is hard. Like we were just talking about the marriage thing. Like, it's tough sometimes, Mm-hmm. But it's what I'm good at, and it's what I've devoted a lot of time to, and what I've spent my life doing. And yeah, I'm not dead. And you can also play podcasts on the radio. That's the other thing that I do is like, just download the podcast, listen to it on the radio in your car.
Yeah,
you can do that. Alex and I could start doing a daily podcast every single morning live from 6 to 10.
No, we cannot. I have homeschool that I need to do because they close the schools here.
Because the coronavirus.
Because
also,
your Nana died from the coronavirus.
There's no way you're going to wake up and do that every morning.
No.
But no. I mean, the best way, what do you think, babe? The best way to address it is to say, if you're asking the question, obviously there's a difference. I will always be real and tell the truth and talk about things when I feel like it's appropriate and when I feel like I can. There's a reason that I'm not answering specifics right now.
Yeah, there's really nothing else to say about
There's really nothing more to say.
All right, so I have one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
So
wrap it up, you mean put a condom on?
You're going to wrap it up, and you're going to ram it on in there. Okay.
Right.
Last question. Espresso Ed anxiety. Do you suffer from anxiety, and does tweed help? Love you guys.
Oh, God.
I do suffer from anxiety very, very, very bad. And weed helps sometimes, but sometimes weed makes it worse.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it because you suffer from anxiety. I suffer from anxiety.
Yeah.
Weed only makes me more anxious, even when you smoke ones that aren't supposed to.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how your anxiety doesn't go crazy all the time. It's pretty, I mean, but it might help you though, because I know it does help with anxiety.
Yeah, I just make sure I'm not smoking sativas because that definitely gets me going and I cannot handle that.
Yeah.
So
you smoke the indicouches or the hybrids?
Hybrid, indica.
Yeah. But I mean, weed is supposed to help with people's anxiety, and I know that you deal with a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
So it probably helps you a little bit.
It does.
For me, it's bad, but it just doesn't help. But you're listening to, or if you're on the YouTube, you're looking at two of the most anxious people in the world. We're a big ball of anxiety.
We are. We are.
We're so goddamn anxious, both of us, all the time. And we just feed into it. I'm better at dealing with, I think, with some of the anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety since all my life. So have you, I think, but just in different ways.
Yeah.
So, like when the coronavirus comes up and she's like, the world's going to end. I'm like, okay, I think the world's going to end too, but what I do to help remind myself is that there's a lot of information now, and like maybe it's just that we're seeing more of it. But I also do deep down think the world's gonna fucking end.
Fuck you.
That's how it is. We have like so much anxiety but
yeah.
So we set each other off sometimes, but most of the time we try to help each other out.
Yeah. No, you do a good job, and you help me out a lot. But
yeah,
anxiety sucks.
Yeah, it does. Anxiety's, oh, man, it's terrible.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up now.
Yeah, we are.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for all the questions.
Yes, we'll do it again when there's not so many of the same question over and over. But it was fun. Like you said, if you have any questions, put them in the comments on YouTube, and maybe we'll comment back and answer them there.
Answer all your dumb questions.
Oh, your dumbass questions. That was another round of dumbass questions. Answering your. How do we say it?
Thanks for listening. That was another round of answering your dumbass questions. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Because we like to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to get it right.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
That was
you
another
do that.
round.
I like it better when you do that.
Right. Thanks for listening. That was another round of answering your dumbass questions.
We should say on the Fresh Till Death podcast.
Okay.
We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh, and I'm Alex Fresh.
Okay.
See your dumbasses later. Let's try the whole thing, all right? Let's get very professional and newsy with it. All right. So you started off. Here we go.
Thanks for listening. We're your hosts. I'm Alex Fresh.
No, do that at the end.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought you said the beginning.
No, we'll close it with that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what do I say?
Thanks for listening. That was another round of.
Okay.
And then I'll join
right.
you, and then
okay. And then what?
And then I'll be like,
okay.
We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
I got it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Thanks for listening. That was another round of
answering your dumbass questions. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And we'll see you next week on another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass.
No. That would be. I think it would. I fucked it up.
I was okay.
We'll see you next week on the Fresh Till Death podcast. That was no.
Okay.
Here it is.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
I'm
Alex Fresh. And that was.
Fresh?
Or you can say whatever you want there.
All right. Okay.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast. We'll see your dumbasses later.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try it again.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast, and we'll see your dumbasses later.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week.
No.
Yeah. Next week. We'll see your dumbass next week.
And we'll see your dumbasses later. It's
yeah.
funnier.
Okay. All right. Here we go. See if we can get it.
Thanks for listening. That was another round of answering your dumbass.
Let's try it again because you paused because I wasn't in there. So let's try it again.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. That was another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass Questions. I'm Jubal Fresh.
I'm Alex.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast.
What's next? Sorry.
See your dumbass.
I thought we were saying it together, no? And that was.
I kind of like it when you. I kind of like.
Okay, that's fine. I thought we were doing it together.
No, we should do it together.
That was it. Fresh Till Death podcast, and we'll see your dumbasses later.
Yeah, let's try it one more time. We'll get this.
Okay. All right, here we go. Thanks for listening. That was another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass Questions. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And we'll see you next week.
On your Fresh Till.
God damn it.
And we'll see you next.
All right.
Wait. So after I say I'm Alex, and we'll see you. And that was.
I'm Alex, and that was the Fresh Till Death podcast. And we'll see your dumbasses next week later. Okay, let's try it again.
We're gonna get it, you guys.
We will get this.
Okay, hold on. Okay, ready?
whenever you're ready.
Thanks for listening. That was another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass Questions. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast.
And we'll see
your dumbasses later.
It.
Get it?
No, because I just didn't do it after I said I'm Alex. So that was the Fresh Till Death podcast. We'll see your dumbasses later. Okay, ready?
I'll say that was the Fresh Till Death podcast, and then you'll be like, and we'll see your dumbasses later.
Okay.
Last time.
All right.
We'll get it.
It's even fine if it's on the last time because I'm enjoying this.
We will get it.
Thanks for listening. That was another edition of Answering Your Dumbass Questions.
We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast. And we'll see your dumbasses later. What's wrong?
I thought I was doing it by myself because you did it by yourself, the Fresh Till Death podcast, and then you said I was.
That is better. Let's do that.
And we'll see your dumbasses later.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yep. Okay.
Thanks for listening. That was another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass Questions. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast.
And we'll see your dumbasses later. Woo! We did it.
Did.
Was that good?
That was good.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, but just hold it at the end, because we're doing this news, very polished host style.
Okay.
So then you have to kind of smile at the camera real quick. Just smile and kind of mug for a second.
And we'll see your dumbasses later.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Last time.
All right. Thanks for listening. That was another edition of
Answering Your Dumbass Questions. We're your hosts. I'm Jubal Fresh.
And I'm Alex.
And that was the Fresh Till Death podcast.
And we'll see your dumbasses later.
Perfect. All right. Bye.
Bye.